Lena stared out the window. Rain streaked down the glass, blurring the world outside. Her heart ached with a dull, constant pain. Her brother, Liam, was gone. He had been her biggest supporter, her confidant, her partner in every crazy adventure. Now, there was just an emptiness that seemed to echo in the silence of her apartment. The world felt cold and unwelcoming. Lena couldn't bring herself to go out, to face the pitying looks and whispered condolences. She withdrew into herself, seeking solace in the solitude of her small apartment. The once vibrant colors of her life had faded into shades of gray. Her canvases, once filled with joyous splashes of color, now lay stacked against the wall, bare and untouched. Even the simplest tasks felt insurmountable. Eating was a chore. Sleeping was an escape, but it offered little respite from the grief that clung to her like a shroud. The world moved on, but Lena felt frozen in time, trapped in her sorrow. Art had always been Lena's escape, her way of expressing the kaleidoscope of emotions within her, but now, even her paints seemed to mock her with their vibrancy. What was the point of color when her world felt so bleak? The canvases that once called to her with their blank promise now stood as silent judges, a testament to her inability to create. Lena would run her fingers over their smooth surfaces, longing for the familiar feel of the brush in her hand, the scent of acrylics filling the air. But the inspiration, the joy she once found in creation, had vanished, leaving behind only a hollow ache. Days turned into weeks, each one blurring into the next. Lena existed in a fog of grief, her days a monotonous cycle of sleeping, eating, and staring out the window. The world outside continued to spin, but Lena had lost her place in its rhythm. One day, Lena's gaze fell upon the lone tree that stood just outside her window. Autumn had stripped bare most of its branches, leaving only a scattering of tenacious leaves clinging on. One leaf in particular caught her attention. It was a vibrant gold, a splash of defiance against the encroaching gray of winter. Every gust of wind threatened to rip it from its branch, but the leaf held on with surprising tenacity. Lena found herself strangely drawn to its struggle. It was as if the leaf, in its refusal to let go, mirrored a part of her own grief, her own desperate clinging to the memory of her brother. Day after day, Lena watched the leaf. She started to mark time by its resilience. The wind howled, the rain lashed at it, but still, it clung on. A strange sense of comfort began to bloom in Lena's chest. If the leaf could hold on, facing the storm with such quiet strength, perhaps she could too. Memories painted on the canvas of time. As the days passed, memories of Liam began to surface. Some were filled with laughter and warmth. Liam teaching her to ride a bike, their shared love for cheesy action films, his infectious grin as they pulled pranks on their parents. Tears welled up in Lena's eyes, but this time, they weren't just tears of sorrow. There was a sweetness to them, a bittersweet ache for what was lost, but also a gratitude for having had Liam in her life. There were darker memories too, moments that made her heart clench with pain. The day Liam received his diagnosis, the fear in his eyes as his illness progressed, the gut-wrenching finality of his passing. Lena allowed herself to feel the pain, to acknowledge the depth of her loss. But through it all, the memory of the golden leaf, bravely weathering the storm, kept returning to her. It was a silent reminder that even in the face of adversity, there was a quiet strength to be found, a tenacity that defied the odds. A tiny spark of hope. One morning, Lena awoke to a sight that made her heart skip a beat. Beneath the tree, nestled amongst the fallen leaves, a single green shoot had emerged. It was small, fragile, almost insignificant against the backdrop of winter's stark beauty. Yet it was a testament to life's enduring ability to renew itself, to find hope even in the most unexpected places. The sight of the tiny sprout sparked something within Lena. A flicker of warmth spread through her chest, chasing away the chill that had settled deep in her bones. It was a feeling she hadn't dared to hope for, a glimmer of possibility in the face of despair. The world, once shrouded in gray, began to take on subtle hues of color. The sunrise held a new brilliance, the rain a cleansing freshness. Lena found herself drawn back to her canvases, her fingers itching to capture the delicate beauty of the new sprout, the unwavering strength of the single golden leaf. The brushstroke of renewal. Picking up a brush for the first time in months, Lena felt a familiar surge of emotion. It wasn't the same all-consuming passion she once felt, but it was a start. The brushstrokes were hesitant at first, uncertain, like a newborn foal finding its feet. But as she lost herself in the act of creation, a sense of calm settled over her. She began with the leaf, its golden surface catching the light, its stem a testament to its enduring spirit. As she painted, she thought of Liam, of his laughter, his love for life, his unwavering belief in her talent. Tears welled up in her eyes, but this time they weren't solely tears of sorrow, but also tears of gratitude, of remembrance, of love. Beside the leaf, she painted the sprout, its vibrant green a stark contrast to the muted colors of winter. It represented hope, new beginnings, the promise of life finding a way even in the darkest of times. The painting wasn't just about loss, it was about resilience, about finding the strength to keep going even when the world felt like it was falling apart. Embracing the dawn. The completed canvas stood on an easel in the center of Lena's studio, a beacon of hope in the midst of her grief. It was a testament to her journey, a visual representation of her pain, her healing, and her slow but steady climb back to the light. Lena knew that the road ahead wouldn't be easy. There would be days when grief threatened to engulf her, when the colors of the world seemed to fade once more. But she also knew that she had found a way to honor Liam's memory, not just through her grief, but through her art, through her own quiet strength and resilience. With a newfound sense of purpose, Lena stepped out of her apartment and into the world. The sun, breaking through the clouds, seemed to shine just a little brighter that day. The air, cleansed by the recent rain, held the promise of new beginnings. Lena took a deep breath, the crisp air filling her lungs. She was ready to face the world anew, carrying with her the memory of the golden leaf, the hope of the green sprout, and the enduring power of the human spirit to heal and find beauty, even in the face of loss.